This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we were saying how to install Python. I hope everybody has Python installed in your system, and we can start typing our syntax over there, right? Is anybody pending with installing Python?
Do we have to install VS Code or just that Python one?
Python is enough for next few sessions. Just Python is enough. Later I will show how to install VS Code. But now we are good if we have just Python.
Okay.
So yesterday we were saying what is Python, what is the language is for, and today we will be start saying the comparison operators in Python. Okay, the first topic is comparison operator, and I hope you guys know what is comparison operator, the basic thing. So what all the comparison operators we have mathematically?
Equal to, greater than.
Yeah, right. So now let me go to the Python. And now here, I'm going to assign some values to the variable. So in any programming language, variable is nothing but a name you give to a container. 1 minute. So yeah, let me first tell what is variable. So for example, you have a mason jar. You have 3 mason jar, and you want to fill the first one with jam, and second one with milk, and the third one with rice. So now what you're doing, you are going to have a label which is written. You are writing as jam, milk, and rice, and you stick to the mason jar. So then you fill it with the jam, water, and rice. Now anybody who sees it will understand uh, the water container is having water because it is labeled as water, and the so these all called data types. The value, for example, the water container is only for hold liquid, so we are filling it with liquid, and the jam container is for gel kind of thing, and we are filling it with jam, and for the other container is to hold only the solid item, so we are filling it with rice, and we are naming it as a rice. We wanted to fill it with rice, and we are naming it as a rice. So here the uh, variable is nothing but the name we are giving to the container. It can be anything. You can, in the solid container, you can fill it with stones, and you can write it as a pebbles, and you can fill it with pebbles. Okay, but the characteristic that that container should can hold only solid is called data types. Okay, we are telling what kind of things can be put into it. That is called type of the material we are going to fill the container with, and the name we are giving is called variable. We can give any name. Okay, so it is depend on the user who is writing the code. So the label we are writing as apple, but you're filling with the container with apple jam. That container can hold only gel kind of thing. So the data type here is gel, and you're filling it with the apple jam, and the variable name you're giving it as apple. You're sticking name as apple.
Are you sharing something? I see your terminal here.
Yeah, now I'm not sharing anything.
Okay.
So in Python, this is what it looks to create and assign a variable. So let me show it. So apple is a label you have given, okay, and you're adding apple jam into it, into the container. The container name is nothing but a variable. The container can hold only the gel, that is data type, and you're filling it with what is actually stored is apple jam. So this is just an analogy for you to understand. So now let me show you the real example. So the variable name I'm giving to a particular memory. So here why I'm telling container is whenever you create a variable and you're assigning value to it for your later retrieval, you are creating one small snippet of memory in the memory. Inside the memory you are creating, if the memory is this big chunk, you are creating one small piece of memory here only for that particular variable. So it will this particular memory is allocated for the variable called name, and it keeps initially it assigns a value you're assigning. When later when you modify it, it goes and updates the content of that memory. Okay, so here I'm giving the variable name, and this is nothing but it is going to save the type string. String is all alphabets are string. So here I'm going to save on. Okay, so this is the value, this is variable, and the data type is string. So this is variable and this is assignment. When I give some value to the variable using the equal to operator, it is called assignment, value assignment, and this is called assignment operator. So this is how you create and assign a variable. So initially we tell Python, hey, I want a variable called X and I want to store value 100 into it. So how do you write that? You write X and equal to 100. This is why we are giving equal. We are telling assign this value to this variable, and this is a variable name. So we are telling Python, okay, show this 100 into the variable X, and it goes and creates a memory for X and it shows 100 into it, and the memory label is given as X. Okay, and here the data type is integer. I will talk about all the data types we have in Python and why we have different data types and what is the difference. But now we will see how we are creating a variable and assigning a value to it. Okay, and let me show and sample. So here I'm just creating one variable called Kalisi. I hope the wordings here are clear, or is it appearing very small?
It's a bit small.
Okay, I will try to improve it. One minute, give me a moment. I will. Is it fine now?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. So here I'm creating a variable called Khaleesi and I'm adding value 1 to it, and I'm just going to give enter. Okay, it's created a variable in a memory and assigned this value. Then later what I'm going to do is, so here I've created another variable and assigned value 3. Now I'm creating another variable called total. But here, what I'm going to do is, so here what I'm trying to do is, I'm telling total is Khaleesi plus dragon. I'm giving a variable name here, which means it goes and takes the value inside the variable. The Python will now go and see if there is any variable called Khaleesi, which is already defined by user. If yes, it will go and pick the value. If there is no variable created like that already by the user, then it will throw an error. For example, I will make a little typo here. So now it's telling name error. It is giving me an error called name error, and the name, this Khalid, is not defined, which means I have not already mentioned about it earlier, and it's not able to find any variable inside the memory with this name Khalid. Okay, so it is clearly giving me what the error is. So now here I'm just total is nothing but Khaleesi plus dragon. So let me print total. So now see the value is 4. So it did addition. Since I have given plus here, it did addition operation. It nothing but it did total is equal to, it replaced Khaleesi to 1 and dragon to 3. 1 plus 3 is nothing but 4. So here we see 4 has a total output. So this is a way to assign. I will show another way to assign. This is a multiple variable assignment. So a comma b comma c is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. So here, anyone has any idea what the value inside the b will be?
2.
True.
Okay, so let me give b and it tells me 2. So now what I'm going to do, a is equal to a plus 1. Okay, now any idea what the value inside a now will be?
2.
Sorry.
2. 2.
2.
Okay. Yeah, because here we are telling a is equal to a plus 1. A is nothing but 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So now again I will give a is equal to a plus 1. What the value will be?
3.
Okay. So because the updated value of a is 2 in the memory, now what Python does after executing this particular command, it will update the value of variable a to 2. So after updating it, now here while fetching the value of variable, it will get 2. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So let me print like this. I can directly give a, or I can give print of a.
We don't have to declare int, string, or something like that, right?
Yeah, we don't have to do that now.
Also, is
So
this case sensitive?
yeah, it's case sensitive.
And
So
is
here,
there a rule that these variables should begin with a capital or a small. Is there anything such?
We actually do not have any rules for doing that, but we will see the naming convention, what is recommended in any programming language. We will see that next. So
Okay.
here, I can give A or I can give print of A. This print of A is nothing but you are going to print a value. Print A. Okay, why this? So print of A is nothing but you are going to print the value of A. And here in the terminal, I can give also A, but this would not work in the real world when you write a program, lines of program in VS Code and execute. You cannot print value of A, but by just typing A, okay? Only the terminal understands like this. But in the real world, you have to write this print of A to display any value, any output, okay? So now let me print. What would be the value of this? Print total into 2.
8.
Okay, cool. So now let me clear is not recognized. Sure. Let me do few assignments, okay? Different data assignments. So here we have a different variable name, age, height, and a student. I have given different values. So let's now see what all the data types we have before understanding this particular code, okay? So we have nearly 8 types of data types in Python, okay? One is Boolean. Boolean is nothing but it is going to tell whether it is a true or false. Okay, the value you are going to give also true, either true or false, and the system also will return only true or false. It is always set to, it is called flag. Whenever you create a variable as a Boolean and you give true or false, we call it as a flag in general programming term. Flag is nothing but, so I have a database, I want to update some data inside it. So here, for example, I'm giving coupon to everybody, okay? And we have 5 people, and after giving coupon, I go and update coupon received as if I have a variable called coupon received. Okay, I will either update it as a true or false so that later I know who all got the coupon and who didn't receive the coupon. So it's just a flag to inform us either yes or no. Okay, and the next data type is integer. I believe everybody knows about this. So it has all the numbers. Integer is nothing but number. And we have float, which is a number with a decimal point. Here, the decimal is not allowed in integer. That's why we have a different data type as float. And we can here have the decimal point. And other next one is string. String is a sequence of character like this name or age, anything. This is a string. And list, dictionary, tuple, and set, these are related to Python. This we will see later. So but I can show. So here list is nothing but you having multiple values stored for one particular variable. So here you have a list of integer, and it is a list of string. It is list is actually a ordered sequence, but it is of any data type. It can have number, it can have string, it can have anything inside it, but it is always a ordered statement. It will be displayed in order. Even if I create 3 to 1, it will be displayed as 1 to 3. Okay, and dictionary
Can
is
the
a
list
key.
have a mix of integers and
Yeah, we can have
characters?
that. Yeah,
Like
we can
1,
have.
B, C, D.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
And the next one is dictionary. Dictionary is a key value pair, which is nothing but you're having a key and you're giving a value. You will have another key and you will have another value. It will go on like that. And tuple and set is a combination of this list and dictionary. We will see that later. But let's not confuse with a list, dictionary, tuple and set. They are a little bit advanced. So now you have to understand integer, float, string, and boolean. Okay, these four. So here I have variable called name, age, height, and student. So you guys know what all the data types we have here. What is the data type of is student?
Boolean.
Okay, so let me try that. I have a operator called type, and here if I give the variable name, it is going to tell me what is the type of that particular variable. The type is boolean. It is telling bool. Okay, and similarly I can try it for any variable. So here the height is in with a decimal, so it is telling float. Age is integer, and name is string. Okay, I'm not explicitly telling anyway that this is string or this is integer. The Python itself understands. So how does it understand? Whatever comes inside the string, I mean the double quotes, is considered as string. Okay, and integer it knows because it is, first of all, it is not coming with double quotes and it's a number, and if the number has a decimal point, it's a float, and if you either give true or false, it is boolean. So now let me try a few things. I'm creating a new variable and here I'm giving true. So here it's giving me an error because this is not considered as a boolean, because boolean true, the first character should be in capital. It's a case sensitive, so it should be like this, true, or it should be like this, false. I cannot give true like this or false like this. So in this case what it does, it takes the value true as a string. Okay, what it thinks is this is anyway not a boolean value, so it considered this as a string like John, but we are not giving double quotes, right? We are not giving any quotes in we are not giving, the true is not surrounded by any quotes, it's expecting quotes. Okay, so it is clearly telling name error, name true is not defined. It is telling, did you mean true? It is asking the question whether you wanted to give in a single quote. Are you trying to do create a string? So let me do one thing. Now let me give. So now what is a variable data type of this value, this variable is teacher.
String.
Okay.
Bool.
Mm, yeah, but we have true, right? How come you're telling it is string?
Because it's under quotations.
Mm-hmm. So now you see the class is string because the boolean will not have any codes inside it. The number, float, integer, float, and boolean is not inside any string. Once it sees string, it is considered as a string only. So let me create another variable, name one.
So single quote or double quote, it doesn't matter.
Anything is fine, yeah, but whatever you have it here should be closed using the same codes. Python understands both single and double, but if you're starting with double quotes, you cannot close it with single. Either way, vice versa. So what is the type of name one?
String.
String.
Am I allowed to add numbers inside a string?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's true. The variable, the data type string allows alpha and numeric, alphabets and numeric. Okay, and it should be inside string. So okay, this is fine. I'm having number inside string. I am having using a boolean value as a string because I'm using quotes. Now let's see one more thing. Name3. Okay, so here I'm giving name3. I'm defining name3 and I'm giving this value, and I already have age. Okay, so I'm now going to create two different variable. One is new age. What I'm going to do is age plus height. Okay, so here what is a value inside new age and what is a type of new age? Anybody has any idea?
New age value will be 36.3. Data type will be float.
Okay, let's try that. So here we are adding age plus height. Age is nothing but 30 and height is 6.3. So that's why we see 36.3 here. And what is that type? So it's telling float because when you add these two things, when you see a decimal, now the decimal is in place, automatically it is taken as a float. So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to add age and name. This value 1233 plus 30. Okay, let me do that. Okay, let me do this. See here, I am getting an error again. Now it is telling type error. Initially we saw name error, which is with the declaration, name or the value. Here it is type because now we are facing issue with the data type. So what it's telling is for integer and string, you cannot do addition. Okay, because this is integer and this is string. Though the value inside is 1233, it is considered as a string as long as it is inside the double quotes. So type of name3 is string, but the age is integer, so you cannot do addition. Okay, now let me do one more thing. Well, now I'm going, this first name is string and the last name here, it is also string. Now I'm going to do addition. Will it work?
Yeah, it will work. It will print both of them beside each other.
So here now you see it is adding both, appending one to the another. So this, why does it does now? So earlier we saw integer and string, the plus is not allowed, but I'm using for string now, but the plus is allowed because here the plus when you have numbers, so here what we did height plus age, when you have number only the integer, it will add, this plus sign will add as a additional operator. But when you have only strings, this is called as concatenation operator, which is nothing but it joins both the string and display. Got it? Any doubt?
No doubts. How to edit if I want to edit any value?
Yeah, you
Actually, I
can.
was
So here,
following. Yeah.
I would have did that somewhere. Where did I do? I can update any value. Okay. Now let me show what is first name has. Control C. Okay. First name is nothing but it has Anu inside it. I want to update the value, right? You want to update the value inside the variable, right?
Yeah.
So what I will do? Again, I will write first name. I will give Anika. So it is going to give me the latest value. This is called reassignment. The variable already has a value, but you are giving a new value. What it does is it goes and erases whatever is already there, and it replaces the empty. After erasing, it is now empty. The first name container, memory container is empty. It is going to place Arnika inside it.
Okay.
Hmm? Okay, so we saw what all the data types we have, and we saw a operator called type, and we saw addition and concatenation. We saw everything. Now,
I have a
I have
question.
a quick question.
yeah.
So, when you assign one variable to other variable, does it point by reference or point by value?
It points by reference only.
Okay, thank you.
Can the integer data type also have zeros and negative values?
Yeah, it can have.
Okay, until they are not decimals, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, let me show you something with a float. So let me create one variable called a, and I will give 2. So here I'm giving 22 bar 7, which is the slash is nothing but, so all the mathematical operator will work as such in Python. String operation. Okay, let me show the mathematical operation later, but I wanted to highlight few things about the numbers, integer and float. Integer is also number, float is also a number. Okay, now we will see the difference between them. So in real world, both 1, -1, 8.3, all are number, but in Python, they are stored or represented differently. And why do we segregate them as integer and floaters? It all depends on the saving space in memory. Okay, because for example, if you have 1.310, here it takes up lot more memory than it is going to save 2. Okay, so this particular variable will hold more memory than 2, because um, though we have only 3 digits after the decimal point, Python allocates some 10 digits or something, because we might anytime we might change it to 1.3. we may change like this. Okay, so it should have enough memory already to hold this value if you update in future. Anyway, Python is not going to store infinite number of decimal points, but still it is the decimal value is going to take a way more memory than the whole number. Okay. Sometime if you have multiple number given like this, Python is going to start lose the accuracy. So if you like give like if you store a value like this and then you're going to plus it with 2, the output will you will not expect exact output all the digits. Okay, it's going to start losing the accuracy beyond certain number of decimal, beyond the certain number of numbers after the decimal points. Okay, and so it's generally not a problem unless you need extreme precision. You wanted exactly all the numbers to be printed exactly in the same way. Unless you do such kind of operation, otherwise it is not going to be a real problem. Because for example, the professional people who use these Python to calculate some formula something, they need precision. Otherwise all the real-time programming in IT career do not look for the accuracy of the multiple decimal points. Okay, if you have a limited decimal point, you are going to get an accuracy, but beyond certain number it is going to lose the accuracy. Okay, and we do have another complex data type for number. One is called long and another is complex. Okay, but it's really rare that you would use them. You would never need this long and complex in your Python language programming. The integer and float will take care of everything. Okay, and so both integer and the float will have positive and negative. Okay, but the float will have decimal after it, and the integer will not have a decimal. But both will have positive and negative number. Okay, and usually it is called float, but people always call it as a So this is float, but usually people refer it to as floats. Okay, nobody call it as a float. Usually people call floats, and so the main point is integer is going to take less space, and floating point takes up more space. Okay, and now let me show something.
Can there be a number 0.0 like a float?
0.0, yeah.
And that will be
Let me
classified under
show.
float,
It's
right?
yeah. Now let me show all those now. So first type of 9, it is telling integer. Type of 9.0, that is float. Okay, now we will see. So now type of A is integer. Now type of B is float, because one of the number is in floating, whether it has either after the decimal it is 0 or 1, it is float. Okay, once you have a decimal point, it's a float. When you sum any float with integer, automatically the integer also will become float. Okay, so this B is always float. Now let me, so this is part of quiz. Okay, now I have values like this: 9.0, 0, minus 1.2, 1.0, 0.0. Okay. Here, which all are float. Okay, which is not float.
0.
Okay. So let's see that. So whenever you have doubt, you can just write this type operator, which is integer, which is also float. The question you asked, no, whether 0.0 is a load. Yeah, but mathematically we do not. When there is a requirement, you want to assign 0.0 to some variable, you can go ahead and you can do that. Okay. So now 1.0 plus 4. This is integer or float?
Float.
Okay. So range of float and integer is minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, you can have anything in the minus negative range and plus negative, positive range also. Okay, and now let's see some common important operators that we have in Python. I used to have some picture. I do not have them now. Okay, let me. Okay, yeah, I wanted to show this. Copy. Okay. So these all the operators we have in Python. This is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and these three might be little different for you. So this is called modulus. This is called exponent, and this is called integer or floor division. Exponent, maybe I can explain it. Exponent is nothing but when you are going to tell square or cube, 1 to the power of, when you say power of 1 to the power of 2 or 2 to the power of 3, the power of is now used by this double star, which is exponent. Okay, so 5 double star 2 means 5 square, and modulus is nothing but it is going to give the remainder. So in division, what we do, we give the quotient, right? So if, for example, so what is quotient and remainder? So 9 divided by 2. So 9 twos or 9 fours are 8. So 4 is a quotient. After minusing 9 by 8, you will get a remainder 1, right? So this is called quotient. Usually with the division, you give 4 as an output. Sometime the remainder might be 0, and sometime the remainder might have some value. And this remainder is given when you give modulus. Okay, modulus will give you remainder, but the slash division will give you the quotient output. Okay, and integer division, I will tell about this integer and float division. Here it's nothing but when you are dividing, let me show it here. When you are dividing 4 by 2, you're going to give 2. Okay, and when you are dividing 5 by 2, you're going to get 2.5. But when you give double slash 2, you're going to get 2. So you want to divide a number and you want a whole number. You do not want a float. You want integer out of it. Then you should go for double slash. Okay, though it is a float, the output is 2.5, right? but it's removing the decimal point and everything after the decimal point, and it's giving you the integer. Usually, always a division will result you float only, whether you have any value after the decimal point or not. Always the division output will be float. But when you want it as an integer, then you have to go for double slash. Any doubt here with the
In that
mathematical
picture, it was
operator?
showing -5 /2 is 3 or something. Can we just go through
Yeah.
that?
If it is 2.6, then it will be 3 or 2 only.
Way you are asking about 2.6?
Integer division, if it is 5//2, I mean, instead of 5//2, if something is coming out as output 2.6, right?
Hmm.
It will be 2 or it will be 3 because it's above 0.5, right?
Okay, so here you're asking. Okay,
It means to say,
maybe.
is it going to round off to the next whole number?
Okay. So with the 2, we cannot see any 0.6. Okay, let me give like this. Let me give 21.6 divided by 6, which is nothing but 3.6. It is going to give you 3.6 exactly. Or let me try this. 22.8 divided by 6. It is going to give me 3.8000003. Got it?
What if
Yeah, can you do
21.6
22.6?
/6?
Yeah,
21.6 /6. You're going to get only
Okay.
3.
okay.
How did we get -5 /2 as -3? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Okay, so here the regular division will give you 2.5. Okay, the regular 5/2 is going to give you 2.5. Since you have a floor division here, the double slash, it rounds to the integer nearer or equal. So the nearer number is -3. So why
Okay,
here
so
you are not?
-3 is lower than -2.5, so
Yeah,
it is rounding off to the lower number.
Yeah, true. So in
Oh,
the
okay, got it.
positive area, 1, 2, 3, 3 is greater than 1, right? But in the
Yeah,
negative area, -3, -2, -1. Here, -1 is greater than -3, right?
yeah,
So in the positive range, the highest number will be always greater, largest number, right? But here, in the negative, lowest number is always the largest number. That is why instead of 2.5, here it is giving -3. So what in positive addition we are doing? So here, when you do 5// or -5/2, in either case, it is rounding off to a lowest number. Here you get 2.5, right? In 5/2. But instead of making it promoting to 3, it is removing and making, so here we have like this, 2, 2.53. This is a range, right? Initially you have 2, then 2.5, then 3, then 3 then 4, 5. So here it is from 2.5, it is going to the lowest number. What is the lowest number? And it is giving you 2. Similarly, in the minus area, it is giving you the lowest number, -3. Rounding off and
got it.
giving the lowest number, okay?
Yeah.
So it is called floor division. Floor is nothing but, there are two things, ceiling and floor. Floor is the lowest value, ceiling is the highest value, right? So floor is always going to give you the lowest value of the output. So I have mentioned that I use double slash always to get the integer output, but here I got decimal output because one of your number is float. So we can't do anything here. It will be giving you the float value. Okay.
In
Any
the
doubt?
above example, 22.8 divided by 6, why did we get that many decimals?
So that's how it usually we have. Even 1 minute. Let me put it in calculate and show. Actually, there will be a little problem with the accuracy in Python. So here, when you divide 22.8 by 6, it gives you sometimes 3.8 also. It gives you this instead of 3.8, 22. What happened to my calculator? 22.8 divided by, usually this will give 3.8, but Python will always give this multiple numbers instead of giving exactly 3.8. This is because it want to result accurately.
Yeah,
Usually
but
in
the above ones are normal only, right? 3.6, 3.0, those are like one decimal only, right? The
yeah,
above
yeah.
one.
So
The top.
sometimes, yeah, Python sometimes for the represent of the to represent the result accurately, it will show like this. Because in few mathematical operation, this is how you will see the output as. But if you have concern with this, we can round it.
Okay.
And if you do not want this kind of result in your program, then you can round this. This is called round function. Okay, so it is going to round and give you the value. I'm going to tell what is the operation, what is the number, and to how much degree I want to round this. Okay.
So I think it's best practice to do rounding instead of
Yeah,
having.
yeah. So I'll be showing them in the next few classes about the functions, because I have not taught you what is function. So I cannot show round here. But yeah, we will see them. We will be always using this round in our coding. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's not go very detail into all this accuracy thing, because we are not interested in number accuracy with Python. Even if you give 1 divided by 3, you will see multiple 3 after it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now let's go for a quiz. Okay. What would be 40 minus 4.5? The output of this, would it be integer or float?
Float.
Float.
Okay. So this one, 1 divided by 2.
Float.
Float.
Okay. And output of this,
Integer.
what is the value? What would be the value?
4.
4.
4.
Okay. 5 divided by 3. What would be the value?
1.
1
9.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we already saw this. This will give you the float, but only this will give you the integer value. So 5/3. It is going to
1.
give 1. Okay. And what would this give me?
2.
So this is going to give you the remainder. This is called modulus, and it is going to give you the remainder. Okay. Cool. So I will also give like this. I want to talk about this double stack.
125.
Yeah. 125.
Okay. So I want to do like this. Okay, 14 double star 0.5.
Like root.
Yeah, so exactly. So when you remember, I don't know how to draw that, show that in the notepad, but you remember it will be, there will be something like root, right? It will look
Yes, yep.
like this. And inside that you will give value. So instead of giving root, there is no root operation here, right? So we give this 0.5. Whenever you give 0.5, it is that root, whatever you're going to give.
Okay, it's like the square root.
Yeah, square root 49.
So for cubed root, what do you write there?
So for 49, the square root of 49 is nothing but you understood this answer, Saman?
Yeah. No, I
Saman
wanted to
square
ask,
is 49. Mm-hmm.
how do you write cubed root then? Like 125 cubed
Okay.
root of
So
125.
for cube root, I can do this. Cube root is equal to 121 you want, right?
125.
Got it? So instead of cube root, I am giving 1 by 2. So 0.5 is nothing but 1 by 2, right?
Okay.
So instead of 1 by 2, I'm giving 0.5. Instead of, so I'm directly giving 1 by 3. Instead of dividing and giving that exact number, we can give 1 by 3. Got it?
Yeah.
So regular division, the main takeaway is regular division is going to give you float. And if you have double slash, it is going to give you integer, okay? And you want to divide something, but you do not want to see any float, you have to go for double slash. So let me give like this 6.5 into 2. What would be the output of this?
13.
No, I wanted to know if it
Okay.
is float or
No.
okay.
Yeah.
So let me show few other things. Let's end the class with this 10 plus. What would be the output of this 1 minute? A is equal to 10 plus. What would be the output of this?
No output error.
Okay. A is equal to 10 plus. What would be the output of this?
Error.
Okay. A is equal to 10 plus. What would be the output of this?
Error.
No. Actually, the thing is true or false is Boolean, right? We have true or false to indicate 0 or 1. Boolean is nothing but zeros and ones, right? So here true is 1 and false is 0. Okay. So here you will see A as 11. It has taken the value of true 1 and it is adding. So the addition is possible between the integer and the Boolean. And
Okay.
B is equal to 10 plus false. B would be 10 because false is now taken as 0. Okay. So what would be the output of this? What would be
Hello
the output
world.
of
Concatenation.
let's divide like this.
Okay,
Let
can
me
we give
write.
null values? Null.
Null, yeah, I haven't thought about null. In the next class, we will see the Boolean
Okay.
null,
Yeah.
none. We have something called none also. We can say that. So what would be the output in the, single digit, float or integer?
-3.
Float or integer?
Integer.
Okay, I have three options. One is it might be -3 or -2 or -2.66. It should be either one of this, the value.
-2.
Okay, so -8/3. These are the outputs I'm giving. What would be the output? So you said -2 and she said -3. Let's see. So it is -3. So you remember I said in the negative range, 3 is the lowest number than 2. You will always be rounding to the lowest number, right? Lowest number possible. If it is 2.5, it will not
Okay.
make it to 3. So now you
Okay.
see -3. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so numbers, floats, and data types and variables we have covered today. Tomorrow we will be seeing this none comparison and commands and string operations. And also we will see some built-in functions like round. We have many other functions. We will see that tomorrow.